Hello, welcome to the channel, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how to set up Google Maps in Jetpack Compose. So the first steps, how to get an API key, how to actually add a Google Maps on your screen, and configure the basics of how the map is rendered on the screen. So this is a pretty new project which is running on my phone. There's nothing added yet, so I will need to go through and add everything. So this is the map compose library. It comes with a GitHub page that shows you how to actually implement the map. And so first thing first that we will need to do is to add the implementation. So let me do it, 0, and sync the project. While it syncs, the second thing that you need to do is to gather an API key. So in order to use the API key, you need to go through this page and click on go to the credential page. It will open a page, and if you have a project, it will show you that you need to select the project, or if you don't have a project, you can create a project. Once you create a project, it will show you an empty list here. You can create a credential and click on API key, and then it will create a new API key. I will use the new that I'm creating right now with you in order to show you how to use it. So this is the key. So let's copy it to the clipboard. And what you need to do is add it to the manifest as metadata with the value. And another thing that you need to do is the name, which we will gather from here. It should be, no, maybe on the manifest it's different. Let's see if I can find anything. Well, this is the API key. We can edit the API key for adding some restriction. For example, we want to limit to Android apps. And we also want to restrict the keys to the Maps SDK for Android. And save. Perfect. Now we can reconnect the screen. So this is the API key 2. Let's see if they show you. They don't show you. Let me see if they show you how to add it from anywhere. There's nothing here. I'm just trying to see how you can add the API key and add it to your project, but it doesn't look like there is anything in here. So, SDK for Android, get started, create a project, enable the map SDK for Android, go to the project, use API keys. This is the page we had previously. So let's go back here and restrict the key. There should be, Android apps. Okay, so you can copy this code here in your terminal to, I forgot the key, to get the SHA-1 that you will need. And this is the SHA-1 that we'll need. So let's copy this, go back here, and add a fingerprint. past, and then the package name, it's the one here. Copy and paste, and let's save it. Perfect. Now we will see that that's done. So now that we have it, we can go back here, and this is how you actually do it. So this is how you can create a Google map. So Google map, pretty easy. It doesn't need anything. You can now get rid of everything else in the project, and if we save and relaunch the application, we will see the Google map here. Oh, okay. Something wrong in the manifest. What did I do? Ooh, okay. Maps API key. Okay. Now, if we launch this, shouldn't be any more problem, and the maps should show up. Okay, perfect. It crashed because I think I didn't set this name correctly, but it will show here. There we go, it's missing. This is the key that you need to use in the manifest if you want. So now let's relaunch the app, and we should see the maps. There we go, perfect. So now Google Maps accepts a few parameters. One of them is the modifier. Let's fill the max size, for example. It's already done, but let's fill it. Then another thing that accepts is the camera position state. But as you can see here, it's better to remember the camera position state. So I will copy those here, and let's go with Liverpool position, and the values will be 53.2422 and minus 2.730 should be somewhere there. Import, and then position, and then use this one. So if we save, you will see that the camera is now centered to Liverpool. With a zoom of 10. Almost. Maybe too much down. Let's see. 2.5 maybe. It's a little bit better. But now what I want to show you is the map properties, which is one of the way to configure the map visuals. Properties equals map properties, and this have a default constructor, which basically is used here by default if you don't specify anything else here. But here I want to show you a few things. One is the max zoom preference, which is float, and let's say 18, and then there is a min zoom preference. Let's go with 3. So we start with 10 and we have 18 and 3. So that means that we can zoom in until a given amount. Now I don't know how much is the 18, but it's a lot. So let's decrease it in order to show you how much it is. And the main zoom, let's go with 5. So we won't be able to zoom in and zoom out too much, but yeah, you will see it. There we go. This is the 10 zoom, and this will be the 12, which can be zoomed in more, and this will be the 5. So you can see you can't really see too much. So this is one of the 2 things I want to show you. Then another thing would be the map style, which can be created from a resource file. We need the context, and a raw resource file. So let's go with r raw, and now we need to create the file. So let's go with map style.json. It will be a JSON file, and then we can start using it. Perfect. So in order to configure the map, you want to come here to the map styling. I will post the link to this website where you can basically customize your map. So if you finish and you copy the JSON and I paste it here, it will now be used to render my Google Maps. You can customize as much as you want. You can see here, you can click on more option and customize all of those things. And yeah, I will post the link to do so. And this is our customized map. There we go. So let's increase the zoom to 18 and let's set it to 5. Another thing I wanted to show you is the traffic enable. If we enable traffic, you will see that it will show the roads colored in a different way in order to show you how the traffic condition is. It's pretty straightforward. It's something that I personally never enable when I use the maps because I don't care too much. But yeah. Then another thing that goes, I think that's override by this styling here though. So let me show you how it actually works. In the meanwhile, I will also enable buildings and show you what it is. So with the traffic enable, you will see, there we go, some roads are colored and showing the level of the traffic that we have. Now I enable building, so if I rerun with the building as well, if you zoom in on some building and tilt the map, you will see a 3D rendering of the buildings. So let's go to Central Liverpool, for example, with a cool zoom. Let's tilt the map. I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, there we go. It takes some time, but it then will show you the building in 3D, so you can navigate your map looking at the buildings made in 3D. So I will set this one to false and leave that one as default and reapply this style. Now, the last thing I want to show you here is the lat long bounds for camera target. This is a bound that accepts 2 parameters of lat long. So with this thing, you can set up a bound on the map in order to prevent the user from scrolling outside of those bounds. So I have here 2 values, which will be 0, 2.7 and 53.2840 minus 2.5325 20. So let's change this in order to be inside of it. It should be 2420. Okay, should be able to do so. And while this launches, I will tell you that the last thing we're gonna go through are the UI settings, which are another value. UI settings equals map UI settings, which also have a default constructor, which is used here if you don't do anything. So now you can see that I have set some bounds and I'm not able to move the map out more, like it's centered somewhere, right? So you won't be able to move the map around too much. Now, the map UI settings have a few parameters. One is the compass enable, which is set to true. I think that true is the default value that the compass enable has, but let me double check by running it with true. So the compass enable basically show you a compass on the top left corner of the map when the map is rotated. So we see that there's nothing here, but as soon as we rotate the map, a button will appear that will allow us to recenter the north. Pretty straightforward and easy to set up, handy. You might want to have it. Now there are the rotation gestures enabled, which are true by default, and we can disable them. And now I'll show you that if you try to rotate the map as soon as it launches again, you won't be able to. And with this parameter as false, you will never see the compass, even if it's enabled as it is here, because you're not capable of rotating the map. So let's go back to true because we won't be able to. Now, another thing is the scroll, which is the movement of the map around using the scroll gesture. If we disable them, you will see that you can't move the map around. You can only zoom in, zoom out. I should have enabled the rotation, so yeah. So let's re-enable those ones. And now another thing is the tilt gesture, which is true by default, as I show you, but you can disable them. So if you zoom in and you try to tilt the map, it won't tilt and will use the 2 fingers as a scroll, whereas if you enable it, as I showed you before, you will be able to tilt the map, and the 2-finger gesture won't be used as a scroll, but it will be used to tilt the map. There we go. Now, another parameters that you can use are the zoom gesture, which are enabled by default, but you can disable. So now if I try to zoom, you won't be able to. I forgot I enabled the live updates, and I don't need to actually rerun the app every time. But yeah, the zoom doesn't work, but you can still use them with the buttons down here. What I usually do is actually leave this enable and disable the controls, and you will see that now the zoom gesture will be recognized, but there are no buttons here on the corner as it used to before. Now, zoom gesture, zoom controls, and then there is another thing, which is scroll gesture enabled during rotate or zoom. This basically allows you to rotate the map and then move it while doing so. If we disable, you won't be able to. So if we start rotating, then you won't be able to move the map because it's still using the 2 fingers. And same thing, if we start pinching out and then move, or pinching in and then move, you won't be able to. Whereas if it's set to true, it's the default value and you are able to zoom and then move the map. And that's basically everything. Another thing that you can do to customize this style is to get rid of that. And if you want to go with some simple style, you can change the map type. So this one is the normal, which is the default one if you don't customize anything at all. And let's see, it didn't. Okay, that's an unsupported changes. So I need to rerun the app. Okay, that's good. Good to know. Learn something. But yeah, this is the normal map that comes with Google Maps. Otherwise, you can go with satellite, which shows you the images from the satellite. There we go. And then it won't show any roads or anything if not as a picture that's taken. Another one is the hybrid, which actually show both of them. So it uses the satellite as a background, and then on top of it, it applies the normal type in order to show the main roads and so on, and the building names of buildings and other stuff. If there is anything around, there we go. There's something here, and that's how you configure the basic of a Google Map in Compose. Now you see that Google Maps as last parameter has set a body. This is a composable, which is Google Maps composable, and this is how you can add something on top of the map. So if you want to add anything as a marker, clustering, images, resources, path, polygons or circles or whatever, you can do it by going inside of here and writing your composable here. One thing I didn't touch is my location enable, because this requires launch time permissions, which I don't have right now on my phone. And I will show you that if you set it to true, hard-coded, the app, there is a recomposition error, and if you relaunch the app, it will crash because you're missing the permission. So let me know down in the comment if you want me to go through how you could actually request the permission on a Google Maps and update that property based on the user interaction with your request of the permissions. Let me know also in the comment if you want me to show you how you can draw on the maps, some basic markers, some info, windows, anything else that you'd like me to go through and show you how to do. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Give it a like if you like the video, and any comments, any suggestions, feel free to write them down. Thank you again.